Chalo, great. I would request, it's a small request from my side to all of you guys. That is, to please share this meeting link with your friends, those who are qualified chartered accountant. जितने भी आपके दोस्त सीएस बन गए हैं, राइट, आप उन सभी को मीटिंग लिंक भेज दे फटाफट, शर्माने की कोई बात ही नहीं है, right? So really happy to see all the chartered accountants in the house. I think we'll reach out somewhere around 300, 400 people in this session. तो 400 सीए एक साथ बैठे हुए हैं एक जगह पे, right? It's itself is a big achievement for me, right? But before I start the session, just wanted to check, is my audio video clear for the people those who are connected on Zoom and also for the people those who are connected on YouTube live, right? बता दीजिए पहले फटाफट फटाफट, is my audio video clear? Is my audio video clear? ठीक है, it's clear, clear, click it. Okay, I'm waiting for the confirmation from the people sitting on YouTube live. YouTube live पे मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ confirmation का. Someone from a Zoom can also go on YouTube live and give the confirmation. Okay. गीतिका जी बड़ी टेंशन में लग रही है. नहीं गीतिका जी, चेहरे पे स्माइल ला लीजिए, आप अब सीए बन गए हैं, है ना? राइट, यहाँ पे कुछ लोग हैं जिनको कंटिन्यूसली अभी भी फोन आ रहे हैं, हेलो, बधाई हो. Huh? I think good to see this, right? That's the best moment of your life which you guys are carrying, and really happy to see. First of all, I would like to congratulate guys, all of you guys. ठीक है, तो एक बार सभी वीडियो ऑन करके, राइट, वीडियो ऑन करके, अनम्यूट करके, जोरदार तालियां अपने लिए बजाएंगे, राइट? दैट यू हैव डन अ ग्रेट जॉब एंड यू हैव अचीव द माइलस्टोन व्हिच इज देयर. एक बार तालियां अपने लिए बजा. ग्रेट.
अरे
Congratulations to everyone.
Great. So great. I think really happy to see, and the energy and the excitement you guys are carrying in. Okay, it's a completely different story. I can relate to it. But few funny incidences always happen with few of you. I don't know how many of you had this incident. कुछ लोगों को शादी के रिश्ते आए होंगे. यस, नो, नो, यस, हाँ, जो स्माइल कर रहे हैं ना यहाँ पे, उन्हें रिश्ते आए हैं. जो स्माइल कर रहे हैं ना, उन्हें रिश्ते आए हैं, राइट? दिस इज अ इंसिडेंट विच हैपेंड विद लॉट ऑफ पीपल. ठीक है, मेरे तरफ क्या देख रहे हो? डोंट लुक एट मी. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट यू गाइस. ओके, ग्रेट, ग्रेट. आयुषी इज ब्लशिंग. ओके आयुषी, नो प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है, great. I could see the feelings which you guys carry. And you know what is the best incident happened, right? I don't know this happened with you or not. So when you tell your parents that you're qualified CA, right? उन्हें तो विश्वास नहीं होता है, मतलब they are in the top of a sky. फिर the best moment, two, three best moments are there, right? First, the time you see that you're qualified CA. Second is the time you tell your parents and you give them a hug. Okay, that is one of the best moment in the memory you guys carry, and you'll carry it forever. Okay, that is second. And third is the best funny incidents which happened. I don't know happened with you or not. Your dad called a lot of relatives saying that मेरा बेटा बेटी सीए बन गए. And you know what happens after that? That relative says कि मुझे उससे बात कराओ. And after that, then you are talking to some unknown people. ठीक है, you are talking to some unknown people. ठीक है, हाँ जी अंकल, मैं सीए बन गया, मुझे बहुत बढ़िया बेटा. फिर वो आपको एक दो सवाल पूछ लेते हैं, बेटा आगे का क्या प्लान है? ठीक है, तो all those funny incidences must have happened with you. So that is there. But of course, I can understand the energy and the excitement you guys are carrying in. But important is time to achieve the bigger goal, right? What is the bigger goal after becoming a CA, guys? If you can just let me know in the chat box. What is the bigger goal after becoming a CA? What is the purpose with which you started the CA journey? Anyone in the chat box? Okay. नालायक कोई लिख रहा है शादी. Ah, if you have that goal, you are sitting in the wrong session. FYI. Okay. Great. अगर आसान भाषा में बोले और सच बोले तो बिगर गोल इज मनी, राइट? एवरीवन, राइट, एग्री ऑन दिस कि वी वांट टू अर्न मनी. और पैसा कमाना है भाई. बहुत हो गया स्टाइपेंड कमा लिया, राइट? बट नाउ इट्स टाइम टू अर्न द मनी. एग्री? चलो, सिंस एवरीवन वांट्स टू अर्न द मनी, लेट मी आस्क यू, व्हाट इज द एक्सपेक्टेड सीटीसी यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग? मतलब क्या कि सर, what is a CTC I could expect? Imagine that it can be 9 lakh, it can be 10 lakh, it can be 15 lakh, it can be 12 lakh, it can be 20 lakh. Whatever the CTC you are expecting for yourself, I want you to put it in the chat box, please. I want you to put it in the chat box. I want everyone to participate in the session because the session is going to be a game changer for you and it will help you decide what next. Okay. कोई कह रहा है बेटा 1 करोड़, नहीं बेटा, 1 करोड़ के लिए तुमको अफ्रीका जाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। अफ्रीका की कुछ कंपनीज रहती है, फाइनेंस कंपनी, वो आपको 1 करोड़ देगी, ठीक है। बट 1 करोड़ थोड़ा सा हाइप हो जाएगा, बट ठीक है। आई थिंक पीपल हैव अ डिसेंट रेंज, 12 लाख प्लस 13 लाख। ओके, गॉट इट। नाउ आई वुड आस्क यू वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन, राइट? If we compare this with our stipend was somewhere around 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 15,000, 20,000 at max, or 25,000, right? We are expecting a 10x or a 20x or a 30x growth in our stipend or a salary, right? But do you think the company will also expect a good learnings, good exposure from you guys? हम पैसा तो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि मेरे को डबल कर दे, ट्रिपल कर दे, 4x कर दे, 10x कर दे, बट डू यू थिंक द कंपनी विल ऑल्सो एक्सपेक्ट द सेम फ्रॉम यू गाइस? हाँ, द आंसर इज यस. The companies have also started expecting that if you guys are expecting something, we are also expecting something, right? So what is important to meet the expectation of a companies, right? So we are going to be understanding what is the next thing which you are going to be doing after the CA and what all career options are available to you guys. One of the best thing with CMONG does is we have planned a lot of series of sessions for you guys, which will help you to decide what next. So today we are going to be deciding what next after CA and how does your journey is going to be looking like for the next 2 months. Okay, that is something which I'll be covering. Every session have a different agenda, but whenever you join any of my session out, it's a prerequisite to carry pen, paper and water bottle. ठीक है? तो वो ऑडिट के बुक के पीछे के कुछ पेजेस बचे हैं ना आपके, उस बुक को यूज नहीं करना है, ठीक है? यू आर सपोज टू हैव सम गुड एंड फ्रेश नोटबुक, right? Request you to please have some good and fresh notebook so that we can prepare for our interviews well. I want you guys to be serious for your career. I want you to be more serious than your CA final examinations, right? Please, guys, pen, paper, water bottle. Well, the water bottle is something which you can carry it later, but request you to please carry a pen and paper. Whatever you feel like writing it, do write it down. Perfect, right? I could see a few people running here and out there. राइट, हार्दिक भाई ने तो अपने एसएफएम की किताबें उठा ली हैं, वो देख रहा था कि पीछे के पन्ने कितने बचे हैं, ठीक है. Okay, not a problem, but I would request you to have a fresh notebook. Now, one sentence which I will say to you, which will change your entire journey in a game and thought process about the interview prep. And the sentence is, getting a job after becoming a CA is not a problem. CA बनने के बाद जॉब ढूंढना मुश्किल नहीं है. But getting a job after becoming a CA into a domain, into a company where you want to get into is a problem. Right? CA बन के 5 लाख, 6 लाख, 7 लाख, 8 लाख की जॉब मिल जाएगी. But I cannot assure you for what domain you will get it. But to get a job with a package which you were expecting, कि सर मुझे 12 लाख का पैकेज है, I want a package of 12 lakh, 13 lakh, 14 lakh, 15 lakh, I want to get into FDD, I want to get into management consulting, I want to get into start audit, I want to get into Big Four. That will require an efforts, that will require your dedication, that will require your preparation level. That is not going to be coming easy, right? Now, one thing which we need to understand is that what all areas which are available for you guys after you become a CA. What all areas I can work into, right? First, there are few people, those who are going to be looking for a job. Second, there are going to be few people, those who are going to be going for a business. Third, there are going to be few people, those who are going to be doing some practice. Fourth, there are few people, those who are going to be going for an offbeat track. We'll discuss each and everything in very detailed manner so that you can know what all things are available after CA. Now, if I divide the job sections, the job may basically you will be starting with the CA firms, right? I could just name a top CA firms, which can be either Indian firms or a global firms. So, say for example, you are joining EY, KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, BDO, Grant Thornton, right? So you are joining some CA firms which are there, which have Indian offices in India. Second, a lot of the CA firms which are working from India, right? But they have a global office outside India. So those are the global CA firms like EY GDS, Deloitte USI, PwC SDC, KGS, KPMG Global Services, right? GT Indus, BDO Rice. Okay. These are the global firms which are operating from India, but their head office is outside India. Matlab kya? You're going to be doing an audit, you're going to be doing a work for the company sitting in India, but the client is going to be based out of India, right? There can be other lot of CA firms like Talati and RSM, Suresh Surana, right? You can work with the CA firm and you'll be working on a typical areas which are there, which we'll discuss it on the job section in detail. Second, there are few people out, those who are there, those who are sitting here, will say that, sir, I don't want to work with a CA firm. Articleship में देखा क्या होता है? I'm not satisfied. I don't want to work with a CA firm. I want to work in an industry, right? Industry is in, I want to work with Hindustan Unilever. I want to work with ITC. I want to work with Marico. I want to work with any of the company which you can think of, Nestle, Hero Motocorp. I want to work with industry, right? So again, I divide it into two. The industry might have a presence in India. Industry might have a presence outside India. The same, Indian firms and the global firms. Okay? So that is something which you need to decide first. But the question is how to decide whether I should start with a CA firm or an industry. कहाँ से career start करें? That is most important. But before we go into that, we should know one important thing, and that is what are the options which are available when you're going to be doing a job. अगर जॉब कर रहा है तो क्या क्या करियर ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. Let us discuss the domains which are there one by one. ठीक है. The first domain is your favorite statutory audit. Oh my God. ठीक है. I don't know how many of you have done your articles in stat audit. ठीक है. The first and the favorite domain of most of you, where you guys must have worked in your horticulture, and that is a statutory audit. Now, one thing which you guys need to realize when you're going to be going to a CA firm, especially when I talk about a top 4 or top 6 firms, this top 6 firms have a very different way and different process of working. If I ask you what you did in your horticulture in stat audit, I don't want you to trouble you out today because it's your lucky day today. But of course, when I ask you what work you have done in your stat audit, many of you might be landing up and saying that I was doing vouching and verification, right? But when you go into the top firms, the top firms require you to understand each and everything in a very detailed manner, right? So what is important? Important here is to learn and understand how this process is going to be going. So if I talk about how the typical stat audit goes in the top CA firms, it's like you start with the pre-planning. Then you plan the engagement. Then you identify the risk. Then you identify, you do the substantive testing, and then you conclude it. These are the 5 steps which are followed. Right? So audit sabhi ne kiya hai, right? We'll have a very detailed session on how to choose a domain, but I'm just giving you a brief what all career options are available to you guys if you're going to be doing a job. The first domain is the stat audit, where you are going to be auditing some of the client and giving the opinion on the financial statements. That is first. Second domain, which is growing and which is having a huge vacancies this time, and you guys are lucky. Okay, I am very proudful for you guys because of one thing, and that is, and एक चीज बुरी है बट अच्छी भी है देखा जाए आपके लिए, रिजल्ट कम लगा इस बार. ठीक है, ये अच्छी क्यों है तुम्हारे लिए पता है? Anyone can think of what is good for you? Because vacancies are more and candidates are less. तो डिमांड सप्लाई फैक्टर, सैलरी हाइक हो सकता है थोड़ा बहुत. So that is a good thing. Second, of course, the competition will be less. But that does not mean that कि आप prepare नहीं करोगे. ठीक है? Now, second domain is FDD, a domain which is growing to a next level, where huge demand is there and the package is 1 or 2 lakh higher as compared to stat audit. Now, what is FDD and what work you do when you are going to be going into a CA firms? It's a simple due diligence process. How does it work? Hey, for example, if CA Monk wants to raise a fund of 100 crore, make a 100 crore funding raise करना है. And imagine if I comes to you saying that, please give me 100 crore of rupees. आप दे दोगे मुझे? Will you give me 100 crore of rupees? दे दो please. आप भी CA, मैं भी CA. ठीक है? How many of you will give it to me? Yes, no in the chat, please. How many of you will give it? Huh? Will not give it. So what do? You do a due diligence. What is due diligence? Checking the things end to end, right? Isme we'll have a very detailed session when we'll have a domain-wise guidance session, but it's important to know what is happening in a due diligence. So that means you're going to be checking the things, right? आप चीजों को check करोगे. Due diligence is different process as compared to stat audit. Because auditor is going to be just giving an opinion on the financial statements. Due diligence means you check the 3 years past financial statements, which is there. Okay, so that is there. एक और एग्जांपल देता हूँ, फनी एग्जांपल, सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड ड्यू डिलिजेंस इन अ बेटर वे. है ना, मान लो कोई शादी कर रहा है, शादी के पहले आप बैकग्राउंड चेक करते हो ना किसी का, बस वो ड्यू डिलिजेंस है. ठीक है, वैसे ही इफ समवन इज गिविंग अ फंडिंग टू एनी ऑफ द कंपनी, व्हाट दे डू अ ड्यू डिलिजेंस. ठीक है, दैट इज सेकंड. थर्ड इज द इंटरनल ऑडिट. Third area is the internal audit. Now, internal audit is something which is very defined in a 3 simple words, which says what is the process, what are the risks involved in the process, and what are the controls addressing those risks. ठीक है, ध्यान से समझते हैं. Since all of you are a qualified chartered accountant today, your dad calls you during your dinner time. आज डिनर के लिए पापा ने आपको बुलाया, आ जाओ बेटा. You're very excited. You are sitting with your dad at a dinner table. And you know what dad said? Dad says, we want to gift you a phone. Oh my God. A few people have started blushing. Huh? Don't expect कि I'll gift you a phone. Few people are starting like, हाँ, कोई कह रहा है नोकिया मांगोगे. हाय 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 बेटा. ठीक है. You're sitting with your dad at a dinner table and your dad is asking you which phone you want. You said, Papa, I want an iPhone 15. Right? So dad said, ठीक है, order कर लो. But you know what? If any of the transaction, any of the thing which is happening, right, that transaction is having a process which you being an internal auditor need to understand कि वो चीजें कैसे हो रही है. So what is important when you are going to be part of any of the internal audit of a company? You are going to be checking the process of the thing start to end. Right? आपको चीजों को समझना पड़ेगा, transactions को समझना पड़ेगा. Then you identify the risk involved in the process. Say for example, you ordered iPhone, but probability that iPhone will not be delivered, उसकी जगह साबुन की टिकिया deliver हो गई. Possible? It's possible. So what you need to do, you need to check what are the risks involved in the process. And third, what are the controls involved in this process? मीशो में आ जाता है, ऐसे नहीं बोलेगा बेटा पब्लिक फोरम पे. ठीक है. And third is, what are the controls involved in this process? That means, how do you ensure that the soap is not delivered instead of a phone? This is something when you're going to be dealing an internal audit. 3 domains हमने अभी तक के समझे. First is stat audit. Second is FTD. Third is internal audit. Now, I don't know how many of you have worked into internal audit or stat audit, but one problem with me as a chartered accountant is, if I ask you that in what area you have done your articleship, many of you will say that I worked into stat, I worked into tax. Then I ask you the same question. Are you interested to work in that domain again? Answers in the chat box. Are you interested into the domain where you have done your articleship? Yes or no in the chat box? And the problem with us is 90% of the people says no. अभी यहाँ पे सबके सब no बोल रहे हैं. Now, what is important? If you want to switch a domain, you need to have a good understanding about that domain in a very good way. Right? So that is something which is needed when you're going for any of the interviews. ठीक है, 3 domains के बारे में हमने समझा. Now, before I move forward, I could see a lot of people here, those are sitting, right, have kept their videos off, are sitting and watching me like this. कुछ लोग तो ऐसे देख रहे हैं, हाँ, बोल तू बोल रहे, हाँ. Now again, I'm going to be telling you out, guys, you're going to a corporate world where your preparations for interviews will be starting from today onwards. I repeat, your preparation for interviews will be starting today onwards. That means, very, very important is first, you should know how to sit in front of a camera, right? Second, it's important to ensure that you have a good internet connectivity. Third, it's very important to ensure that you're connected from a laptop. And fourth, many of the people, those who are sitting here, also don't know how to share the screen and laptop. You guys need to learn it. Because I'll tell you one important thing. Imagine that it's going to be happening. Fact से accept कर लो, बुरा लगेगा, but मैं सच ज़्यादा बोलता हूँ. That is a problem with me. ठीक है? Now there is going to be a vacancy in a Wipro cohorts program, right? For which we have also planned a pre-placement talk. अगर आपने हमारा event page नहीं देखा है, तो request you to please check it out. We have planned a lot of events for you. So Wipro का cohorts program का pre-placement talk is there on 17th. Okay? Wipro will be coming with a 25 vacancies. Kitni? 25 to 30 vacancies for a qualified chartered accountants. Okay. I'll ask you a simple question. How many of you will apply into that program for a job? Yes or no in the chat box. Yes or no in the chat box. How many of you will apply for a vacancy if it comes for a Wipro? कितने लोग apply करेंगे? Right. I think almost yes. हाँ, yes. Almost every one of you. ठीक है. Almost every one of you. If I ask the same question to the 8,000 chartered accountants, those who have cleared, what will they answer? They'll also say yes. Right. Will Wipro select 8,000 CS? No. Right. तो Wipro किसको select करेगा? Right. Wipro will select those folks, right? Those who are able to showcase themselves that they are the best. That means welcome to the competitive world. Every second day, henceforth from tomorrow, you will find out that you're competing with someone or someone else. But on face, you will never feel like कि मैं compete कर रहा हूँ. Because do you think will Wipro tell that कि 10,000 CAs or 5,000 CAs have applied for a job? No, they will not tell you. They'll either send you a mail saying that congratulations, you are selected, or say that so sorry, we'll get back to you soon, or so sorry, we are rejected. Right? Companies will never tell you the reason why you're getting rejected. So what is important here is to start preparing for your journey from today onwards. Okay. Now imagine that if you don't know there is a vacancy in ITC with a package of 25 lakh, but your friend knows that there is a vacancy in ITC with a 25 lakh. Whose mistake is this? It's your mistake. Because you are not active, you're not aware. I'm not saying you to not to celebrate after your journey after you become a CA, but I have seen it. मैं अपनी journey बताता हूँ. I don't know how many of you know this. When I cleared as a chartered accountant, I joined Udan. ठीक है? I joined at a package of 12 lakh. My friend joined ITC at a package of 21 lakh. You know what happened with me? I did not know there was a vacancy in ITC. Otherwise, I would have also applied, no? Right? मैं भी apply करता ना. मैं पागल थोड़ी हूँ कि मैं 21 लाख का job छोड़ के 12 लाख का job लूंगा. Right? But what mistake I did? I was not active. I was not using LinkedIn. I was not using other things. So what is important here is to very, 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 very proactive when it comes to job and vacancies because पैसा जो है ना वो supreme है, right? At the end of a day, I have seen the students doing it. Whatever domain you decide, at the end of a day, you will 90% of the people will choose money over the domain. It's a fact. Let's accept it, right? If ITC is offering you 23 lakh ka package, but if you want to get into start audit with a package of 9 lakh, will you go into start audit or will you go for ITC? Huh? You'll go for ITC with 23 lakh. Few rare people will go for start audit. Like the people like me, those who want कि नहीं नहीं यही करना है, or very few people. But that ITC will require you to prepare well. Now, since we are discussing about so much about preparations, right? I want you to also understand and draw one chart parallelly. How does your process of an interview will go like? Okay, it's important to know the process and the journey of your interviews parallelly. So let me again share my screen. Just a second. If you have a pen and paper, you can also draw this chart parallelly so that we could know what is the process of interview, how does this interview journey is going to be like afterwards. Okay, so parallelly, I'll come to multiple domains which are there. Just a second. Perfect. Yes, I want you to take a blank page for all of you guys so that we can draw a very nice process and journey of our interview. How does this process of a journey and interview will be for all of us? Just a second, my iPad is a bit slow. आजा भाई आजा हाँ perfectly fine, great. ठीक है, I'm drawing a timeline. ठीक है, so today we are sitting here, that is 10th of January. Okay, 10th of January we are sitting here. How does the process goes like? The first process is you will find out a job vacancy. You'll find out a job vacancy. So say, for example, you find out a job vacancy in any of the company. But how do you find out a job vacancy, guys? You find out a job vacancy via LinkedIn. You'll find out a job vacancy via Naukri. You find out a job vacancy via IM Jobs. You find out a job vacancy via references. You'll find out the job vacancy by Sambhav. What is Sambhav? Sambhav is a placement program run by CMO. It's our placement program which we run. Plus some WhatsApp and Telegram group. WhatsApp/Telegram groups. Okay. So you'll find out a job vacancy. But what do you do after you see a job vacancy, guys? क्या करोगे job vacancy देख के? देखते रहोगे? नहीं. The next step after this is you always try to apply for this. Right. So whom do you apply this? You apply this to an HR. You'll apply your job to an HR or the details whichever is given. But you apply with important thing, that is your resume. And most important is cover letter with a proper email. Right? With a proper email. It's a combination of three things which you should be very good at. A resume, a good resume with a bad cover letter with a bad email will not help you to get into a dream job. It should be a combination of all the three good things which are there. After you apply, but do you think HR is going to be opening up your email? Practically बात करते हैं, बुरा मत मानिएगा. Since there is a vacancy in a Wipro, okay, 25 vacancies. How many people will apply? Assuming that 3,000 people apply. ठीक है, 3,000 लोगों ने अप्लाई किया over email. ठीक है. What is the probability that HR will open your email? Do you think it's a humanly possible to open 3,000 emails in a day? अब बताओ, practically, let's talk practical, guys. I'm not making you scared, I'm making you aware. Yes or no in the chat box? It's not about only opening up. Huh? You need to open up email, see the resume, see what is written in an email, and then you need to close it out. Even if HR takes 30 seconds to open an email, right? If you're good with numbers, I'll do 3,000 into 30, which comes to 90,000 seconds she'll require to read all those emails, at least divided by 60, right? That is 1,500 minutes divided by 60, which is 25 hours. If HR is following a 7 days week, 7 hours a week, if HR is following a policy of 7 hours a week, मतलब वो 4 दिन तो सिर्फ email ही पड़ेगी आपके. Humanly impossible. Right? So what does people try to do? People try to eliminate you guys by taking some tests, which I'll come to it in a while. So how do you apply? You apply here, but always an application with a reference will be preferred. I repeat, always an application with a reference will be preferred. Without understand one thing, reference is supreme in this world. अगर reference रहेगा, you'll be always preferred. It's a fact, accept it. Okay, it's a fact. You need to accept it. So what you need a one right reference to get into one right company, right? कितने reference चाहिए? एक. कितनी company में काम करना है? एक. You need to have a one right reference to get into one right company. Okay. Now after this is done, right? After you apply, what is going to be happening? You'll have a elimination round. Right. Elimination round. This elimination round can be a combination of tests, or it can be a combination of GDs, which is group discussion. Okay. Now, what type of tests can be there? There can be multiple types of tests which are there. It can be aptitude test, technical test. It can be logical test. It can be your Watson test, right? Which is nothing but what English test. It can be psychometric test, right? So there can be a multiple types of tests which are going to be there when you're going to be sitting for a companies. Wipro 110% आज से बोल के रख दे रहा हूँ, they are going to be conducting to your aptitude technical and technical test. Wipro का जब प्रोग्राम होगा प्री प्लेसमेंट टॉक के बाद 110% Wipro is going to be eliminating you guys based on test. I am into this industry for 4 years. I know in and outs of every company now. Deloitte USI will conduct a Version test. KPMG Global Services will conduct a AMCAT test, which is a Version test. Version test is an English communication test. And L&T will conduct a technical test. Reliance will conduct a technical test. Vedanta 110% group discussion. Hero MotoCorp 110% group discussion. होने ही वाला है, inherent है, fixed है. What is the best thing about an interview? Interview में best thing is paper is leaked. Okay, the only thing is that you need to prepare for a leak paper. That's it. Okay. So that is there. After this is done, This is the first step, right? Then if you pass all this, but is it necessary that all the companies will do this? No, right? Not necessary, but yeah, most of the companies have nowadays have started doing it because they believe that we want a good pool of resources. So that is why they prefer to have this test. Now, after this is done, what is happening is you'll be having next round, which is called as a pre-screening round. This is something which you'll start getting in a day or two, right, from a lot of companies, where HR will just give you a call saying that, hi, Shivam. I said, hi, just let me assume the name of HR as Meenal. So Meenal is calling me saying that, Shivam, how are you? I said, hi, I'm good. Then Meenal will ask me one favorite question, that how many attempts you have taken to clear CA final. First favorite question pre-screening का यही होता है. Then they'll ask you which domain you're interested. Right? It's important to answer the pre-screening. 50% of the students are rejected on a pre-screening round because HR ka performance and the growth is based on how better and good candidates she shared to the manager and partner. Do you think a Big Four partner have a time to take an interview of 4,000, 5,000 students? No. If for a 20 vacancies are there, hardly he'll conduct a 50 rounds of interviews. 50 people interviews are there. So every time HR needs to ensure that she's sending a candidate with the good qualities and the good history or background which is there. Okay. After the pre-screening round is done, you are going to be having your manager round, right? You're going to be having a manager round, which is a combination of basic of technicals, right? Plus, it's going to be a combination of your resume-based questions. Plus, it's going to be a combination of your just a personality-based question, right? Personal questions like what is your family background? Okay, which all domains you have worked into the past? What are your hobbies? Okay, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? Okay, what are your strengths and weaknesses? What do you do during your free time? All this type of questions are going to be there. But majority I've seen the focus is 60% of the interview goes technical, which is there. They'll be focusing more on technicals, how good you are at technicals, which is there. So it's mostly 60% plus. After that is done, mostly you have a CFO round or a partner round, right? Which is there. If you're going for some bigger companies, so they'll mostly have a CFO or a partner round. Generally, two levels of rounds are there if you go to any of the big fours. But if you go to the companies like D Shaw, with a package of 32 lakh, have a sixth round of interview, by the way. Okay. Goldman will have a sixth round of interviews. मतलब खून चूस लेंगे. By the end of last round, you'll feel like, मतलब if you will say to an HR saying that even if you don't select me, at least give me one toffee. They'll giving after say giving the sixth round, you're like, oh my god. ठीक है, अब बस कर दे भाई. So that is also going to be there when you are going to be giving a lot of rounds. But yes, at the end of the day, you'll be compensated with a good package. Okay, so that is there. But mostly, I've seen 1 or 2 rounds are there, right? So CFO or partner round is again, I would say technical, resume based, right? But here more of a personal based question or personality based questions are going to be there, plus long term sustainable resource. Long term sustainable resource. Are you a long term sustainable resource? That means whether you're going to be working with this company for a long term or not. So technical will be lower here. 20 to 30% will be technicals because they believe that their manager have tested that you're technically sound. They focus more on personality based and long term questions that are you able to vibe with the company's culture or organization. So that is more important when you go to CF round. And after this is done, right, at the end you will have a background check, right? Background check where you'll be asked to submit your mark sheets, right? Mark sheets of CA final, then your result, then they'll ask you to submit your basic BCom mark sheet. They'll ask you for some references as well. Can you please refer a 2 person's name who can vouch for your genuineness? Okay, so that is there, or give the name of 2 person with whom you have worked in the past. So this is how it goes. So this is what a typical journey of interview, which is something you're going to be going in upcoming days through a lot of companies. A lot of companies will not have an elimination round. Say, for example, if you're applying in EY, right? So EY will have directly a pre-screening round, manager round, partner round, and background check. Okay. This pre-screening is also very important because in a pre-screening, they also screen not only based on your communication. What all things are tested here? Communication, your technical knowledge, your communication, basically English, which is there, your technical knowledge about the subject, and they'll also check your resume, which is there. So these three things are the most important, which is going to be tested here. Because HR को यहाँ पे script दी हुई रहती है. They need to run through that script before it goes further. ठीक है, एक checklist रहती है, right? Which is there. So how do you know so much? I've been into this industry 4 years. Placed 10,000 students. Name the company, you'll find my student out. ठीक है. Every Big Four have 300 plus students working there. मतलब, that is there. So this is how your journey is gonna be. Now, simple question. So what do I need to do to ensure that I clear these interviews? Simply, you need to prepare for all this. Okay, you need to prepare how to use LinkedIn wisely. You need to prepare, learn how to use Naukri wisely. You need to learn how to write a good email, how to write a good cover letter, right? Prepare a good resumes. Then you need to prepare for some tests, GDs, which are there. Then you need to prepare for pre-screening round, right? Technical rounds. Most important is technical. See, understand one thing. Everything is perfect. Resume is perfect. LinkedIn profile is perfect. You approach to an HR. You have a reference. In fact, you know what? Partner have a right to reject you based on technicals. हो सकता है ना तुम्हारा सब कुछ अच्छा रहे, right? But at the end of the day, you need to give an interview, right? Imagine that you have your best reference in the world, but if you're not able to clear and tell how do you audit a company or what is the five-step model of India is 115. I'm not making you scared, but I'm making you aware. If you're not able to speak it out straightforward, they'll reject it because no one wants to deploy their money and resources, those who's not able to work. Repeat. Everyone wants a good quality talent nowadays in this world. Okay, so that is there. You need to prepare for technicals, most important, resumes, resume-based questions, personal questions, CFO's round, and background check. Nothing needs to be prepared. So this is something which is needed for your interview. So this is what is going to be your journey in upcoming days. Okay. Now, yes, of course, for the different companies, if someone is asking कि इस company में क्या होता है, उस company में क्या होता है, तो request you to please go through my YouTube channel. For all the companies, I've posted a lot of interviews. Like Mercedes में क्या steps रहेगा, EY में क्या steps रहेगा. तो just scroll my YouTube playlist, you'll get to see a lot of companies for which I've done it. So that is there. Now, since there are two ways to prepare for it, right? Two ways you can use to prepare for it, right? First is either you do it on your own, right? Or second, you can take some help, which is there, where we are good at. Okay. So we are working into this industry, 4 years have been completed here. So we run our training program with the name of a GIR workshop. So that training program covers this entire curriculum, right, which is there. So I'll just show it to you for a second, right? I'll just show it to you the curriculum which is there. Luckily, right, this is for the first time, right? We are running 3 batches parallelly because we want to restrict the number of students in each batches. मतलब एक बैच फुल हो गया तो दूसरा बैच चलेगा, बट yes, you have a choice to choose between 3 batches which is there. So this batch is starting from 15th of January, Monday से शुभ मुहूर्त है मंडे को, I believe. So Monday से you'll come with an open mindset because you want to party for a first Sunday after you become a CA. That is what I'm assuming. So our first batch is starting from 15th. It is timing is 7 a.m., 3 p.m., 7:30 p.m. 3 timing पे चलेगी. Parallel batches. And you know what is the best thing about interviews? Interview is something you need to practice on a live environment. You cannot practice it on a recorded mode. You cannot watch lectures for interview prep. Trust me. जब तक के we don't give you feedback saying that कि oh my god, गोपिका आप थोड़ा कैमरे से दूर बैठो, you need to adjust your camera, right? It's very important to take a feedback, and I believe a feedback is a breakfast for champions. So everything here is going to be taught to you on a live environment where you're going to be interacting with the best people of the world. I'll just show you the list of people. So first, we have a resume building session. Then we have a session on LinkedIn profile. We have a session on Naukri. We have a session on team building activity. You need to have a pre-screening call. We have a session on HR questions. We have a domain-wise guidance session where I'll help you out in very detailed manner which domain to choose from. We have a GD sessions where mentors will also join in and they'll guide you for GD. We'll also be spending your a day, that means a 3 hours of a time with the industry experts. Now, what all the industry experts are going to be joining in, right? You could see the director of KPMG will join in. You'll see a manager of FDD will join in. You'll see someone from India's head is going to be joining in, right? You'll see someone from M&A tax is going to be joining in. Some HR lead HR is going to be joining in, right? The partner of KPMG is going to be joining in. Manager of EY is going to be joining in, right? So all the best people of industry like finance CFO head is going to be joining in. So you guys will be interacting with these people out, right, during this day that is on 21st. Then we'll teach you how to write an email cover letter, how to negotiate a salary. Oh my God, I forgot this. Right. This session, this is one of my favorite session. After watching this session, even if your 10,000 of your salary is increased, right, your batch fees is recovered. Okay, with the interest that is there, which I'll ensure that that is going to be increased for sure. Then we'll practice a lot of aptitude tests, logical tests, mock interviews there, advanced technical tests, and then we'll have a closing session. So batch is for 10 plus 1 day, that is 11 day. बोलने के लिए 11 दिन की है, but don't worry, we don't leave till the time you get placed and till the time you give us a party. बहुत तंग करते हैं हम लोग हमारे जीआर के स्टूडेंट्स को. आप पूछ लें, आई थिंक आई कुड सी लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स दोस आर जॉइंड हियर, राइट? आफ्टर दिस बैच इज डन, अभी इनके सेशन है 9:30 बजे, राइट? तो वी ट्रबल आवर जीआर बैच स्टूडेंट टू नेक्स्ट लेवल. यू कैन टेक अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम एनी ऑफ आवर बैच स्टूडेंट ओपनली. ओपनली मतलब एकदम खुले में पूछ लेना कि क्या है व्हिच इज देयर, राइट? फॉर द पीपल दोस आर जॉइंड इन, राइट? दे विल गिव यू अ फीडबैक सेइंग दैट व्हाट इज द लेवल ऑफ एफर्ट्स व्हिच यू कैन पुट इन. हाँ हाँ, मतलब दिख रहा है, गोपिका है, उदय है, ये सब पुराने जीआर वाले स्टूडेंट्स हैं. यू कैन टेक अ फीडबैक फ्रॉम एनी वन ऑफ देम. So they'll tell you what is there. With this, you'll also get a lot of additional coins on our AI tool, right? Which you can use it out to practice your mock interviews. That is there. You also get a one-on-one personalized mentor where you are going to be giving a mock interviews with them. Okay, so that is planned. Then we have a doubt solving session, right? So we'll have an alternate doubt solving session for you guys where you can connect with me personally and you can solve all your doubts, which is there. And one of the best thing which you also incorporated here, right, and that is domain-wise mentors and a group is created. So say, for example, you decide to get into Start Audit, right? So the mentor for the Start Audit is going to be there with you till the time you prepare well and till the time you're going to be getting into that domain. And we'll also help you out to prepare for ICAI campus placements. If the companies are coming, if a Wipro is coming, we'll tell you out what type of questions are asked in the past, right? What is the interview prep which is going to be needed. So in short, leave all your interview preparation and worries to us. But अभी openly बोल रहा हूँ in a very important language, and that is in a very proper way, in bold, inverted comma, underline. If you're coming here, you should be ready to work hard. Life is not going to be easy here, right? Because मैं बहुत काम करवाता हूँ, बहुत homework देता हूँ, right? If you're serious for your career, if you want to grow, then only join it. If you're joining here for this time pass, saying that मजा आएगा, सर joke मारेंगे, although I crack some good jokes, but yes, if you're coming here, that means you'll be expected to work hard. As simple as that. Because if you'll see itself the energy and the motivation with which I am coming and carrying in this batch, you need to carry 10 times higher than the energy and motivation which we are giving it to you. तो बोलने के लिए बैच 11 days का है, but we don't leave our students till the time they get placed, right? So you can ask any of the batch students, right? उनका आज भी session है, we'll have a doubt solving session day after tomorrow. So that is there, right? So we continuously focus on all our students, those who are there. Now the best thing is that कि sir 3 timing batches चल रहा है. The reason why I've shifted and divided into 3 parts, and it's itself a challenge for me to repeat the same thing in thrice a day, but I'll deliver with the same energy and the motivation. And the session is of course going to be in English. No Hindi is going to be used unless and until I take some कसम of Babita ji. ठीक है, बबीता जी कौन? तारक मेहता वाली. तो वो बस हिंदी में लेता हूँ, बाकी otherwise the things are going to be in English. That is there. So that is something which I wanted to communicate. 3 timings are there. Request you to stick to one batch because that will help you to enhance your learning, and your teams are going to be divided in that way. So whichever batch you want to join in, you have 3 choices, right? You can join either of them. Okay. So that is just also wanted to brief you out. One more thing which I'll just show it to you from where you will get to register for this, because a lot of people will be registering for it. Achha, one more thing, this time we have restricted the batch size, right? And that is why we have divided. So say, for example, if you're very choosy saying that sir मुझे सिर्फ morning batch ही चाहिए, या I am very particular about evening batch, तो you need to register it fast, because अगर evening batch full हो गई तो फिर morning ही बचेगी या afternoon ही बचेगी, या afternoon full हो गई तो evening ही बचेगी. You need to decide which batch you want. Okay, and you need to register it ASAP. So you need to go to our website cmong.com. You can click here on interview prep. Once you click here, you'll get a choice to choose which batch you want to join in. Okay, you'll get a choice. 3 batches. Again, timing is there. The fees is 4299 plus GST. तो निर्मला जी का है पैसा, GST का मेरे तरफ ना देखें, मेरे को 4299 ही मिलेगा. So that is there. So 3 timing, 3 batches are there. Decide the batch which you want to join in, but again I told you the seats are limited in each batch. One more good thing, right? Since we have built it out, since a lot of people are going to be using it, and that is a lot of people wanted to prepare their resumes. You can check our website, which is tools.cmong.com. It's the first AI website which is built by a CMong team. So what is this, right? It's a very cool website which will help you to prepare your resume. It's a very nice website which will help you to review your resume. But once you log in into this website, you'll get 100 coins. Okay, but if you're going to be part of a GR, you get a 500 additional coins. How does it work? You just need to go to resume builder, resume scorer, select the domain where you want to get into. Say, for example, I want to get into start audit. Select when you passed, right? I'll just get it changed. Number 23 CA. And after that is done, I'll just upload my resume. So just a second, I'll upload my resume itself. After I upload my resume, what I need to do, I just need to scan my resume, okay, how much the score my resume is there, or what is the score of my resume for a start audit domain. So this bot is going to be running and going to be telling me out key what is the score for the resume which is there and what all things I need to improve, right? तो ये bot आपको बताएगा. That is a level of bot which you have built it out, right? So it took 10 coins to run it, and it says that कि ये CV को लेके कभी transfer pricing में मत जाना. That is I need to right? It's also telling me what I need to into and keep, but if you're a part of GR, you'll have a 600 coin. You can use it on a very multiple times it is there. So that is one. Second, you can also prepare a resume using this resume tool. You can use this and just upload your details. Your resume is going to be prepared as and when you upload it. Third, we have also prepared this AI interview bot, which is a very cool thing, right? So what you need to do, select again a domain which you want to get into, right? Choose a fresher, again upload your resume, and then just you need to say to a bot saying that, please start taking my interview. So bot is going to be taking your interview in a very nice way by asking a series and set of questions.
Hello, welcome to the interview. My name is C.A. Monk, and I am a chartered accountant
So I need to
recruiter.
introduce myself, and
Can you
then
please
if I
introduce
introduce, bot will
yourself
give
and
me
tell
the
me a
feedback,
little bit about your
right? So you'll
experiences
be
in the
practicing with this
statutory
bot
audit
multiple
domain?
times. So that is there. So that is something which you have built it out. You can also estimate your salary. So ये tool वाला website is something which you have built it out. It's really nice website. You should go through it. So that will give you a very detailed understanding that how does the things are going to be working and how do you prepare using this. Okay. So that is something which I just wanted to tell you out. Okay. Wanted to know why GR in morning and evening is 3.5 hours and afternoon is 3, because morning, evening, you need to give a break where people need some time for extracurricular activities. Okay, but in afternoon, I assume that people don't need a break. Okay, so that is there. Morning, you have a dinner time and other things are there. Afternoon, I'll not be giving a break to them. So that is why the afternoon sessions is planned for 3 hours and morning, evening is 3.5 hours. ठीक है. मॉर्निंग में थोड़ा सा क्या है, 10 मिनट लोगों को जगाना पड़ता है ना, वो नींद से आते हैं ठंड में. ठीक है. So that is there. Okay. So I'm asking any promo code. Already it's at a discounted price. At the last day of a batch, you'll say it's a very nominal price. Okay. So that is that. We'll discuss about the batch at the end. Let me complete the things which I told you out. Okay. So how do you prepare for what all things you'll be needing to prepare for an interview? That is something which I've covered here. What is the process of interview? Right. You need to have a good resume, cover letter, email. You need to have a good references. You need to ensure that you're preparing well for HR questions, technical questions. All the stuff is going to be needed. So these are the three domains which I've covered. Next is FP&A domain, right? A growing domain where huge demand is there nowadays. Right. Also, we'll have a pre-placement talk with the Misho, right? It's mostly on a 16th. So you'll be updated for the same, where they are hiring for a FP&A in the business finance domain. So what is this domain all about? It's like, say, for example, CMONG decided or Amazon decided that I want to launch my own iPhone. Okay, Amazon ने बोला कि मेरे को अपने iPhone बनाना है. So Amazon need to plan it. Amazon need to budget it. Amazon need to forecast it, right? And that is what is FP&A is. You plan the things, you analyze the things, you budget the things. So that is what is going to be part of a FP&A domain, financial planning and analysis. Next is, of course, your favorite direct tax, indirect tax. Many of you have worked into this. But by the way, if you people don't know, there is a huge hiring again, which is going to be there in M&A tax as well. Okay, M&A tax as well. Direct tax is known by CIT, corporate and international tax. There's also a GMS tax, which you will find out some vacancies which are there, where you'll be seeing some vacancies into global mobility services. So that is something which is there, which you again need to keep an eye on. Global mobility services. So these are the major vacancies which you will be finding it out, and mostly in a direct taxation. Although we'll have a very detailed session on each of the domains in our upcoming session, where I'll discuss every domain for 15-20 minutes in more detail. Then again, IDT, right? If I divide the taxation into three parts: compliances, litigation, and advisory. These are the three major areas which you need to decide where you want to work into, right? And most I recommend the people to work more advisory and litigation side instead of compliance. Next is investment banking. Oh my God, it's a huge growing domain which is there, where again a lot of CAs are nowadays hired. One of the good story about IB, last attempt, right? In the previous attempt, in fact, the highest package which was offered was into an investment banking. The package which was offered to one of our candidate in the Bank of America was 45 lakh. 45 lakh का package offer हुआ था investment banking में. So investment banking is always going to be offering a highest amount of package, which is there. But the only thing is that it requires a lot of preparation. But what this people do, this people act as an intermediary between two things. जैसे कि CMO को पैसा चाहिए, आपके पास पैसा है, ये हमको मिलाने के बाद मदद करेंगे. Right? Or if I have a funds, I want to invest it. I have 100 crore rupees. I don't have a time to go to Zerodha and invest it. They'll be investing my money. Not only in share markets, not only into equities, not only into bonds, not only into debentures, but also in other places. Real estate as well. Okay. So that is something which investment bankers do, for which we'll have a detailed session again. Next is a consulting, of course, a growing domain with a good package, with the best lavish life which you can think of. Right, you'll not stay below a 5-star hotel. That is what a consulting offers. But what is consulting? It's a problem solving. You guys need to solve the problem which are there, which are faced by the company. Okay, so what is consulting? Consulting is a problem solving for top management at a faster speed. So whatever the problems the company is facing, जैसे कि recent case, I don't know how many of you have heard this case. Vivek Bindra, the case हुआ है अभी, ठीक है? Sandeep Maheshwari has put a lot of allegations and claims on it. तो विवेक बिंद्रा भी डर के पता नहीं गायब हो गए, right? Vivek Bindra will go to a management consulting saying that, oh भाई consultant जी, please help me, how I can come out of the situation, right? So that is what a pure consulting is. It can be related to anything, right? It can be a political consulting also. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. बीच में ट्रक ड्राइवर्स ने स्ट्राइक कर दी थी, right? तो मोदी जी will go to a consultant saying that, oh भाई बताओ कैसे बाहर निकले. So this is a consulting. You're solving a problem which are faced by top management, right? If you love solving a problem, you are going to a consulting. You're going to a consulting. Then next, very interesting domain is a finance domain, where you will find a lot of vacancies nowadays are there. Like finance, we will find multiple names, which is called as a MT, which is a management trainee role. What is a management trainee role? Management trainee means we are going to be hiring you in our company. But once you come to our company, you are going to be a part of this organization, and we'll rotate you under multiple business functions. So say, for example, we hire you in accounts payable, right? Then we'll put you in accounts receivable. Then we'll put you in treasury. Then we'll put you into MIS reporting. Then we'll put you into FP&A, right? So this is what a management trainee guy is going to be doing. He's going to be rotating across the different business functions of a company, right? So mainly finance में जाने से one edge is, or how do you decide whether to go into industry or CA firm? Three things. First, whether you want a brand name. Say, for example, if I don't have a brand name in my CV, you should simply go to CA firm. ठीक है? आपके पास brand name नहीं है, articleship बहुत खराब थी, you should try to start your journey from CA firms. Second, if you want a work-life balance, go to an industry. ठीक है, आपको आरामी जीवन चाहिए तो थोड़ा सा इंडस्ट्री विल गिव यू एन एज. सीए फॉर्म में तो यू नो व्हाट हैपेंस, हमेशा उनका सीजन ही चलता रहता है, तो दैट इज देयर. ठीक है, बॉस बोलते हैं आज रुक जा, आज सीजन है, कल भी तो यही था. ठीक है, so that is a different story. Third, money, of course. Sometimes if industry offers you a good package, you can go to an industry if industry is offering a good package. And fourth, of course, depending on goals and the domains which you are aligning with, you need to decide whether you start on to with this corporate firms and industry which is there. Of course, we'll have a very detailed discussion on all the topics. Right? I know I'm just giving you a bird's eye view, so that at least you should start thinking कि क्या क्या है मेरे लाइफ में, क्या क्या करना है मुझे. ठीक है. Next, of course, the technology is also nowadays growing, where huge hiring is also happening in a lot of big fours towards a technology audit, where you're going to be auditing the processes. How does this technology is going to be working? So that is also one of the domain which is growing nowadays. Nowadays, you'll also see a lot of companies like Infosys and Accenture will be hiring you for SAP role. Accenture will be hiring for Oracle or Dynamics 365. What is that? You're going to be part of those teams and you're going to be auditing that software, or you're going to be ensuring that software is customized based on the client need. So these are the domains, these are the areas where you're going to be working into. Okay. and you also need to see CA from corporate and industry. But just to summarize everything in detail manner, right? What do you see, or what is something which you are going to be doing henceforth? आपको अभी क्या करना है? What next? Right? What next? Okay. Let me summarize this session in a very nice way. What is something which you are going to be doing henceforth? The first thing is very, very important is prepare your resume, cover letter, and email. ये पहला टास्क है आपका. Task number 1. Right? You need to prepare your resumes, email, and cover letter. Task number 2 is you need to create your profile on LinkedIn, Naukri, right, and other job portals which are there. Third, after this is done, you need to find out references and apply for the job. Okay. Fourth, after that, you need to also prepare for your tests / GDs which are there, which are going to be happening, group discussions, जो भी होगा उसका आपको preparation करना है. That is fourth. Parallelly, you need to prepare for HR questions. Right, you need to prepare for HR questions, whatever HR questions are there. Sixth, you need to prepare for most important technical questions for the domain which you're going, right? For the domain which you're going. Okay. Seventh, after that is done, you need to also give some practice mock interviews. Right, you need to give some mock interviews which are there. And eighth, right, after all this is done, you need to again I think eighth done, mock interview. Okay. So these are the 7 steps which you need to follow when you're going to be preparing for any of the companies which are there. Okay. You always have a 2 choice, खुद से कर लो, right? But it requires a lot of time and efforts. You will follow some unstructured approach, right? गलतियां करोगे, I don't know what all things you'll do, but that is one. You can do it on your own. Second is, of course, you can take a guided approach. So we are very good at this. हमारा ये रोजी रोटी है in short बोले तो, ठीक है? So we are pro in this. ठीक है? You can also join the workshop which is there. Well, either or, it's nothing like mandatory करना ही है, but of course, joining that is going to be giving you an edge. Because the reason is, batch 15 को start हो रही है. If you come to me on 16 saying that कि मेरे को join करना है, मैं बोलूँगा sorry. ठीक है? Then I'll say join the next batch starting from 28th or 29th. I just forgot the date of next batch. 29th. फिर next batch सीधा 29 से आएगा. ठीक है? तो फिर आप रो, I cannot help you out, right? Because we believe in live sessions only. Recorded आपको मिलेगा, you'll get a backup of everything in a recorded mode. But live is something you need to work on. Okay. So reference level are useful. References are everywhere useful, guys. Right? Supreme is references, guys. सबसे top पे आता है references. Okay. So that is something which you always need to understand. Okay. So references are supreme. Okay. So Deloitte EY is hiring. Should I apply right now or after? देखो, one more important thing. A lot of people are saying, should I apply right now without preparing for an interview? The answer is no. Beta, right? I will give you one simple answer. Imagine that you apply in EY KPMG, right? And if you get rejected there, right? Or any of the company you apply there and without preparation you get rejected, you will be demotivated. I don't want you to be demotivated. First, prepare well. You understand the things. Then you go and apply and set. First thing. Second, of course, it's a competitive world. So we need to be very proactive and pro in terms of everything. We'll also ensure that your resumes are reviewed. We'll also ensure that you get a proper feedback on your resumes so that the things are very clear and sorted. Okay, someone saying, what is the batch size we have decided? Right, don't worry about the batch size, but we'll ensure that you get a personalized attention. That is for sure. Okay. So that is something which is there. Okay. Now let's open the forum for the doubts which is there. KPMG में assessment test last time यार some of the centers में KPMG had conducted the test which is there. So I don't know this time they'll conduct it or not, but अभी तक के तो as far as I have discussion with KPMG, there's not going to be a test. ठीक है? How to negotiate? Can you please brief me out? Yes, Hardik, I'll definitely brief you out. इसके लिए मेरे 2.5 घंटे का सेशन होता है. सैलरी निगोशिएशन पे। ठीक है, 2.5 hour का सेशन होता है, तो यू नीड टू बी देयर इन GIR for this. That's my favorite session, very premium session. Or I went to learn this art of storytelling and negotiation to ISB Hyderabad. Just wanted to know if I get rejected basis of my marks. देखो, understand one thing. A lot of people are asking that will I get rejected basis my mark? The answer is no, right? Marks basis shortlisting campus में कभी कभी होता है, but mostly I'm scared to tell the truth. But few companies will reject you based on attempts. ठीक है, so don't take it otherwise. But it's all about delivering your story in a different way. If someone calls you and says that, Shivam, how many attempts you have taken? You say, I've taken 10 attempts. He'll press a red button. But if you tell a same story with a different way, right, which I'll teach you, how do you speak it? It's like, they are going to be interested to listen to it. तो स्कोर बेस आई टोल्ड यू आउट. सर रेज्यूमे तो 15th को अपलोड करना है कैंपस में. डोंट वरी, राइट, 15th to 23rd इज द लास्ट डेट, राइट. सो विल गाइड यू फॉर एवरीथिंग. कैंपस का हमारा 3 घंटे का सेशन होता है, 3 hours सेशन, which center to choose, which company are going to be coming, right? So everything is going to be taken care of वहाँ पे. Don't worry. How to prepare for a test and aptitudes? अतुल जी, I think आप तो बैच के स्टूडेंट हो, उसमें I think हमने दिया है आपको aptitude test वगैरह, तो I think from there you can practice it, or otherwise you can also go to our website. There you will find a lot of domains which is there. Try 4 attempts in final. Can I apply for FDD with reference? There's nothing to ask. Apply, right? Apply, right? Do we need to upload a resume in a campus form? Yes, Sagar ji. ICAI campus form requires to upload a CV. Repeat, when you're going to be filling a form, although we have a very important session tomorrow on ICAI campus, to which we are going to be discussing in very detailed manner कि campus में क्या होगा, कौन से centers आपको choose करने हैं, कैसे you need to decide it, right? How the shortlisting is going to be happening. Everyone needs to attend that session very carefully because that is one of the very important sessions, right? So that is there. Do we need to upload a resumes? Yes. But if the companies are asking for an interview, then how to postpone it? So again, first is you need to prepare first, and then you need to only apply. If you are applying now only, then again, if you're getting rejected, so it would be very bad. Now understand one thing: even if I apply, किया reject हो गए. What is the probability that can I apply again? You can apply, right? But again, process is lengthy. It's like a funnel, right? आपका नंबर आया, वेटिंग लिस्ट से क्लियर हुआ, आपके नीचे 100 लोग बैठे हैं, फिर से आपने अप्लाई किया तो आपके आगे और 100 लोग हो गए ना. आई बी गेटिंग इट. अब पता पड़ा जब तक आप पहुंचे तब तक टिकटें पूरी बिक गई थी, राइट? तो whenever you are going to be sitting in that funnel, you should be getting selected, or you should be in a position where you're going to be getting an edge in terms of this interview. Yeah. What if the articles is remaining? Again, you need to tell this to your companies which is there, but again, you need to be smart enough to start applying. Right. How to get confirm regarding a batch? एक बार registration हो जाएगा तो आपको मेल आ जाएगा, right? You have registered it, you'll get it. सर कैंपस में तो टाइम लगता है, तो तब तक वेट करें और शुड आई ज्वाइन? नहीं, तो तब तक हार्दिक यू नीड टू अप्लाई ऑफ कैंपस. ठीक है, आई डोंट वांट यू टू कैरी एनी ऑफ द डाउट्स हियर. जो भी डाउट्स है ना, एकदम बेशरम होके पूछे, एकदम बेशरम. बिकम शेमलेस इन आस्किंग द डाउट्स. पुट इट इन द चैट बॉक्स यूट्यूब पे, जो स्टूडेंट्स है यार, और द स्टूडेंट्स दोस आर हियर, है ना. Sir, is this training workshop only for freshers? The answer is yes. This training workshop is for freshers. Experienced folks up to 2 years or 3 years can also join in. Okay. Done. Generally, which company shortlist us based on attempts? Public forum पे. You wanted me to answer this, right? Next बार वो मेरे पे कंपनी केस कर देगी, saying that अच्छा सर, तुम हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को भड़का रहे हो. हाँ, नहीं, मैं पब्लिक फोरम पे आंसर नहीं करूंगा. I'll answer someday in a close bounded session. But you don't think much, Mini Gupta, right? आपको अप्लाई करना है, खत्म. If there is a vacancy in this company, if the HR is there, your CV should be there, खत्म. But it should be perfect. It should not be like if you're applying somewhere and you're getting rejected, right? Rejection नहीं सुनना है भाई. Now you need to select. Understand one thing: you are getting and entering into a competitive world where people are going to be competing for गांधी जी पैसा. अभी तक के सीए फाइनल में ठीक है, मेरे को 400 आए, मेरे दोस्त को 410 आए, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू अ पैकेज ऑफ 25 लाख वर्सेस 12 लाख, भाई वो जी जान लगा देगा. आई एम गेटिंग इट. right? So you need to practice it. You need to prepare well. You cannot leave your interviews and things to chances. Okay. Is passing each group in first attempt and separately considered? नहीं. Attempt counting पे I'll have a separate discussion. It's very scary to discuss it today. But if I apply in EY assurance location, can we apply in EY in same domain in some other location? अरे ठीक है बेटा, apply तो करो, right? तो इतना मत सोचो यार, can I apply here? Can I again apply in the same company in a different location? कर दो ना. Who is stopping you, right? If HR will stop you, just say sorry, so sorry, I was not aware. खत्म, right? So, sir, I have attempted a group one in May, could not clear. Attempt counting, we will have a separate discussion. Although we'll discuss it during ICAI campus. Membership is mandatory for ICAI campus, although we'll discuss it tomorrow. The membership is not mandatory for ICAI campus, but request you to please apply. Okay, so that is there. Membership is not mandatory. Vacancy, but by the way, PwC sometimes asks for membership number. So before you start your job, right, a few firms or few companies will say that कि आपका membership number दो. So better to apply it now. Why to wait for it? Vacancy खत्म हो जाए इसलिए अभी apply कर दे campus regarding last date. नहीं, campus का even if you fill out on the last day, your name is gonna be there. How will you get to know you are going to have any session like this before next GIR? Acha, by the way, one more important thing, right? For all the important sessions which are there, right? Again, I am saying it to you. We are the first person in this industry to bring out this pre-placement talk concepts. Request you to please register for all the important sessions, because if the seats are full, I think there's a limit of a Zoom capacity which is there, and the sessions are not allowed to be broadcasted on YouTube. ठीक है, तो जैसे प्री प्लेसमेंट टॉक्स के सब सेशंस होते हैं वो अलाउड नहीं है यूट्यूब पे चलाना, राइट? तो फुल हो गया तो गया. So request you to please register for it, right? All the best events have been planned for you. Although you need to keep and track on this page, mentorship.cmonk.com/events. इस पेज को अपना बेस्ट फ्रेंड बना ले. The reason is, if you miss out replacement talk of EY strategy and transaction, which is FDD, right? Then you will be like, यार मेरे को तो पता ही नहीं था. पता क्या नहीं था? पता था, तुम बैठे थे सेशन में, right? You're not attentive. I cannot help you, right? If opportunity is gone, it's gone forever. Take the first thing. Second most important thing, once you go here in this page, you'll find out a two WhatsApp group which is there, right? First is for CA Inter, second is for CA Final. Request you to join this WhatsApp group, because we'll be posting a lot of vacancies, we'll be posting a lot of things which will help you to for preparation. Right? Because session start ho raha hai, so we'll put it out here. If any of the partner or any of the bigger sessions happening, we'll put it out here. Right? Some of the reading material for interviews will be plotted out here. Request you to please be very proactive to a WhatsApp group. It's okay if you don't check your boyfriend girlfriend का message, but it's not okay if you don't check our messages. ठीक है सर, ब्रेकअप करवाओगे? नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है. But it's important to check all the messages which are there. Also, you can check the link which is given in the YouTube description. YouTube के description पे please check कर लीजिए. Right, there's a link which is given for the jobs and the placement program. We'll also want you to register for the summer placement program, which I'll just tell it to you. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए भी you need to register it. 9:30 को जीआर वालों का अलग से क्लोज सेशन है, वो तो यूट्यूब पे थोड़ी होता है यार, वो अलग है अपना, है ना. सर, if only resume asked to share, then also we need to advise to attach a cover letter. The answer is yes. Sir, I've joined your classes. Is there any material to study before classes? We'll have a kickoff session on 14th, Manav, right? We'll give you a batch notes which you need to print out and start reading it. Okay. प्रोमो कोड फॉर मास्टर क्लास, प्रोमो कोड लिख लो मास्टर क्लास के लिए, नो प्रोमो कोड. ठीक है, नो प्रोमो कोड. जीआर में आओगे, you'll get a 50% off for a master class which is there, right? Otherwise there is no promo code available for master classes. ये तो ऐसी बात हो गई, सब्जी वाले के पास गए और बोले धनिया 10 रुपए की है, वो धनिया बोल रहे हैं नहीं 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 5 की दो, नहीं 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 2 रुपए की दो, नहीं मेरे पास 10 ही रुपए है ना. तो ऐसा थोड़ी होता है यार, वी आर प्रोफेशनल्स, राइट? नाउ वी गोना बी मिंटिंग द मनीज आउट, right? It's a few investment which is there. You have invested lakhs and crores of rupees. I don't know, a lot of money to become a CA. Not the crore, but of course lakhs of rupees to become a CA. It's hardly a few investment for your career, and I can openly say it out. If you are participative and attentive in a class, you will get 100x return of the money which you have invested. मैं openly बोल रहा हूँ ये. अगर इज्जत से बैठे ना क्लास में और जो चीजें बता रहे हैं, if you follow it, आपका पहले दिन के पहले सेशन में पूरा पैसा वसूल हो जाएगा, ठीक है। बट द थिंग इज दैट यू नीड टू फॉलो इट, दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज मैं होमवर्क बहुत देता हूँ, मैं डांट भी बहुत लगाता हूँ मेरे सेशन में। इफ यू आर सिटिंग इन दिस, अभी तो इट्स अ जूम सेशन वेयर यू आर अलाउड टू कीप योर वीडियोस ऑफ। इफ इट इज माय क्लोज बाउंडेड सेशन, मैं तो निकाल देता हूँ बैच को, स्पेशली व्हेन इट इज आफ्टर द रिजल्ट। मतलब यू आर नॉट अलाउड टू कीप योर वीडियोस ऑफ, that is very very particular when you're going to be sitting with my session, because we ensure that you're preparing for an interview from day one। ठीक है, नहीं नहीं अभी नहीं निकालूंगा, अभी 3 लोगों ने वीडियो ऑन कर दिया झट से। नाउ आई डोंट हैव अथॉरिटी टू रिमूव यू, है ना। बट यस दैट इज देयर। डू वी नीड टू अप्लाई फॉर मेंबरशिप नाउ? आई टोल्ड यू। Done done done। Steps for membership, I'll upload a video on how to apply for a membership, don't worry। Can one group CA final pass attempt the GR? Will it help? If you want a job, Tarun, that will help you out, right? That is there. Sir, do I have to download anything from SSP portal? A membership के लिए I'll have upload a separate video, don't worry। If you're not doing it, someone else is doing it. True। मेरा dialogue मेरे पे ही दे रहा है उदय। Okay। Mm, convocation date membership पर depend होता है। The answer is yes। How do we get to know about your next session like this? I've told you। Please register for all the pre-placement talks which are there. Again, I'm saying it to you. And also join our WhatsApp group, which is there. You cannot afford to miss this, guys. Sir, I'm not eligible for a campus placement as my articleship is ending on June. Do off-campus companies will hire such people? The answer is yes, and you are eligible for a next campus. Okay. Sir, I have more than 6 attempts. Please guide me. Don't worry, Atulji will guide you out. Right. Can you share the link again? Which link you want? I'll share the program link. Okay. It's shared in the chat box. Okay. Or you can visit our website, cmonk.com. Okay. When you will upload it, I'll upload it tomorrow, day after. Pre-result drive, pre-placement drive. What is a pre-placement drive? It is a pre-result drive. हो गया ना बेटा, अब तो रिजल्ट आ गया, अब क्या प्री-रिजल्ट ड्राइव होगा बेटा? अब कौन से रिजल्ट का वेट कर रहे हो तुम? There's nothing of pre-result drive, अब सब हो गया ना, ठीक है। Articleship was completed in March. Can I apply now? Yes, you need to prepare well and you need to start applying. Sir, how to register for felicitation? I request you to go to reach out to your respective branches. ठीक है। Till when you'll share the video tomorrow. Can I join GIR batch starting from tomorrow? नहीं, the batch is not starting from tomorrow. We have shifted it to 15th. सब कुछ 15th से आ गई है। 3 batches are running 15th, although we have planned it starting from 11. But Akansha, we have shifted it to 15th, which is there. Uh, okay। सर सुना था जीआर वालों को कूपन कोड मिलता है मास्टर क्लास में। हाँ, उनको मिलता है। Okay, done। I think all the doubts are there. Done, yeah। Should we fill out a Samba form right now or after GIR? I would request you fill it after 15th or 16th। एक बार resume बन जाने दो, we'll have a review, then you fill it out तो better रहेगा। Otherwise, you'll fill it and then you'll upload your resume. It does not make a sense, right? So better you fill it out for this। How to register for felicitation? Request you to reach out to your local branch। ठीक है, so that is there। Done। I think I covered almost all the doubts which are there, right? Still, if you have any doubts, right, don't forget to put it out in the comment section on the YouTube. Or if you want to solve any of our doubts, right, anything related to program or any queries which you have, right, you can call our support team number, which is there 9022 720 882, right? आप support team को call कर सकते हैं, right? You can call our support team, which is there. They'll be happy to solve all your queries which are there। I put the number in the chat 9022 720 882। उनको भी आप कॉल कर सकते हो। और if you want to take a feedback, I think you can take a feedback with any of our students, right? है ना, so that is also there। But I genuinely want you to please prepare well, right? Because if you are not doing it, someone else is doing it। सिंपल है। आप नहीं कर रहे तो कोई और कर रहा है ना। वो थोड़ी बैठा रहेगा और सुनेगा कि अच्छा दिस गाय इज नॉट डूइंग। कंपटीशन इज ऑन भाई, द वॉर इज ऑन। ओनली द थिंग इज दैट यू नीड टू एंश्योर यू आर द बेस्ट। ठीक है, तो प्लीज डू इट, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ अ डे we had an expectation that why we become a CA. We had become a CA because we wanted to ensure that we can ensure that our family is financially free, or we gain a huge respect, right? So your first job is always going to be special, is going to be defining how your growth is going to be. ठीक है? तो फर्स्ट जॉब के लिए भाई जितनी मेहनत सीए फाइनल के लिए की थी, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज पुट 100 times efforts for your first job. Because imagine that if you start from a 13 lakh and if you start from 20 lakh, the next job, of course, and a hike which you're going to be getting is not on 20 lakh, not on 13. Of course, right? 13 वाला उस पे हाइक लेगा, 20 वाला 20 पे हाइक लेगा. The growth is going to be very dependent. Your next 1 month will decide where you're going to be. Again, I'm saying you need to be very, very proactive. Need to give you 100%. जितना मस्ती करना था रिजल्ट के पहले कर लिया. Now is the time to work hard for your career. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, बहुत सीरियसली बोल रहा हूँ. आपको बुरा लगेगा, अच्छा लगेगा, आई डोंट नो, बट हायरिंग चालू हो गई है. कंपनीज रेड अलर्ट मोड पे है. Companies, I have literally spoken to 10 to 15 HRs today. They have said, Shivam, we need to close the vacancy by January, and that's it. फरवरी तक के हमको वैकेंसी कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना ही नहीं है. Few companies have also said it कि हमको कैंपस के पहले क्लोज करना है, right? And you know what? Lot of my, I think मेरे 15 students have already joined. प्री रिजल्ट बैच वाले स्टूडेंट्स ऑल ऑलरेडी ज्वाइन. उनका ज्वाइनिंग भी हो गया है, राइट? 31 जनवरी को उनको बैंक अकाउंट में पहली सैलरी भी आ जाएगी. ठीक है, वेयर अदर्स आर स्ट्रगलिंग, बट ठीक है, दैट इज डिफरेंट स्टोरी, राइट? लेट्स नॉट गेट इनटू दैट. बट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज योर करियर इज इंपॉर्टेंट. For that, you need to work. Clear? I hope you will do it, right? And I wish you all the best for your interviews as well, right? And definitely, I want you to prepare well, whatever you want to do it, right? We are always there with you, right? And don't forget to miss out any of the sessions, because if you miss out, right, it's going to be a problem sum for you only. Okay. So great. Let's close the session here. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Right. Just a feedback in the chat box. We'll be happy to read it out. Event page is not working. It will load mentorship.cmong.com/events. Right. Request you to also please ask your friends to also register for upcoming events, and don't forget to join the Telegram group, WhatsApp group which is there. Sorry, not the Telegram group, WhatsApp group which is there. ठीक है. चलो, great guys. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you guys.